I know people who have incredible ideas. I mean, solid ideas that can, in the long run, contribute to nation building, but don't have the resources to bring them to life. In fact, there is a report by the Central Bank of Nigeria that a lack of adequate collateral is preventing many Nigerian small businesses from accessing the capital needed to grow their businesses. Now, with the president budgeting of about 100 billion naira as consumer credit fund, what should be considered for proper implementation of an effective credit system, and why do we need this at this time? On that note, I'd like to welcome you to MarketSquare. My name is Oluwa, and I'm so delighted to have you join me on this show every single time. Nigeria is an entrepreneurial economy with an estimated 37 million micro, small, and medium-sized companies whose contribution to economic growth and job creation is significant. Even at this, less than a third of the country's micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises have successfully obtained a loan from a financial institution. Instead, most of these business owners make use of their personal savings or invested profits as a source of business financing. And like you know, no business can run sustainably on family and friends. And the smaller a business is, the less likely it is to have applied for or even receive a loan from a bank or microfinance institution. Many of these businesses have the potential to become bigger and more prosperous, but their growth is restricted for a variety of reasons. Chief amongst them is access to finance. The National Institute of Credit Administration, NICA, has raised concerns about the effect of limited access to credit for the expansion of businesses, improvement of production capabilities, which has led to the worsening of poverty levels across Nigeria. This publication came a week after the Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN, announced the increase of the monetary policy rate by 400 basis points at 22.75% from 18.75%. This increase in the monetary policy rate, which is an attempt to reduce the money in circulation, is projected to affect manufacturers in the real sector who mostly depend on credit from banks to increase production. Joining me on the show today as we discuss the urgent need for a sound credit system in Nigeria is the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the National Institute of Credit Administration, Professor Chris Onalo. Welcome, Prof.
You're welcome.
All right, sir. Now, in your most recent publication that went viral, you raised concerns about limited access to credit, which can further strengthen the hold of poverty on the Nigerian people if not addressed quickly. I want to ask what inspired this concern, and why do you think we need a credit system that works at this time?
That is a system, credit system is a system that is designed or is intended to replace a system that this country has been operating on for its economic operation since independence, which is cash and carry. And that hasn't helped too much. And to catch up with the developmental needs, the aspiration of the people, and to be able to introduce governance that is beneficial to the entire population of the people of the country. It is high time, and time is now for the country to go chasing for the best option that can encourage people's economic life, and that system is credit system.
Okay, sir. But before this time, access to a credit system that allows students and businesses and even players in the informal sector to access credit for their education and scale up their businesses was not quite easy to come by. And these obstacles have, in a way, stifled the ambitions of numerous entrepreneurs and regular income earners and deepened the financial exclusion, particularly among grassroots communities. So I want to ask the question, what credit system would you recommend? And what credit system would you recommend?
Well, credit is a system, and as a system, it comes with its own packages. The scenario you just referred to clearly shows that we're trying to combine credit practices with cash system, and two of them cannot go together to bring about a robust economic growth outcome. If we have to introduce a credit system, it must come with its full structures. It's not just to pick one or two or three things and you want to implement it alongside cash system. It will not work. And that has proven itself over the years. What is in talk now is that the system should be fully introduced and jettison the old system, which is cash and carry, and then put in place the structures that it comes along with, like the rural people, small business people you talk about. There has not been any conscious effort to deal with that because the structures were not supporting the initiative to reach out to people at the rural level. So we still have governance system that is in touch with the rural people. For example, the village you come from, or your parents, I don't know how old you are, they have their leadership there. They have their chief, they have their gago, they have their kings, they have their whatever name, community leadership name you can give to it, they have it. And the government approves the titles for them. Government recognizes their leadership right down the interior, villages, hamlets. Government recognize them. And that is governance system, which snowball down from federal to state to local government and councils. So by the same token, the economic development agenda must follow at the same time, or all together rather, with that governance system to be able to reach out to the people. From there, you will see them having pipe-borne water, you see them having good road, you see them having mini hospitals, what we call in those days dispensary or so, etc. And so development can't just be handled haphazardly. Political leadership, political development must go hand in hand with economic development. They are twins, they go together, just as I am. And so that has been the case. But the unfortunate thing is that majority of the Nigerian elite who travels to other countries and spend money to enjoy the facilities provided by other countries are fully aware that this is how those other countries structure their economies. Yes, you can't have all fingers equal, but you cannot allow human beings to live below poverty line. We have poverty class in developed countries, but they have basic things to themselves. That is not the case with Nigeria. That is not the case with the African people. So it's a huge problem. What the government of the day, the present administration led by Bola Tinubu made, maybe they met it, maybe it's a slip of tongue. I don't know, but time will tell. When he pronounced in his presidential acceptance speech that in developing the economy, which is what actually Nigerians are looking for. Not everybody wants to become a politician, but everybody have a right to live. He told them that he was going to introduce consumer credit cultured society. Again, I repeat what I said. Whether he meant it or it was a slip of tongue. If he meant it, then he has said he's going to completely remove the old paradigm, caste system. Caste system has given to us the biggest corruption package than any other country in this world. Caste system has breed enmity within us. Caste system has widening the gap unbearably between the haves and the have-not. Caste system has made the upper class to be looked upon as God, as people with another extra head, which some other people don't have. I mean, we cannot continue this way. So if the present government is deliberate about it, then that we are now approaching the very auspicious moment that Nigerians have been dreaming for in terms of economic viability, a strong economic policy, economic system that accommodates everyone. That is what we are talking about. So the gap, why it hasn't worked before, it was because randomly the people that were responsible for it were just picking things in order to appease the political, reaction, to the people so that things looks as if things are well with Nigerians, and things are not well. I have never seen in my entire journey of life so far, I've never seen where multinationals, blue chip company, conglomerate retains the labor market in terms of recruitment. It is never in their practice because they are very few in numbers. The biggest employer of labor in any productive economy has always been the small and medium scale enterprises, cottage industries, the informal sector, self-employed people, those who are selling one thing or the other, those who are fabricating one thing or the other, who are self-employed. They have their apprenticeships working around them, understudying them, down to the SME, as I said. They are the biggest employers of labor. And they are not spirits, they are humans. So why can't we have such a policy that reach out to them to reinvigorate whatever they are doing, empower them to do more, and then teach them how they can earn their money, feed their family, and do a little savings so that gradually they could expand what they are doing to employ more than one, more than two, more than three, more than four, etc. And then the economy will be better for it. There will even be less strain on politics, because politics, as far as the Nigerians of today are concerned, is the biggest industry. And that is never so in other climes. Allow people to feed their families, assist those that needed one thing or the other that will help them to move up the ladder. It is the responsibility of the government. I'd like to stop there.
Okay, sir.
My interviewer, thank you.
Yeah, well, I think in your response, you have mentioned clearly and favorably the importance of having a credit system working in a country like this. But one of the pitfalls of the credit system is the default in the payment of credit taking, which discourages lenders and may even cause a well-intentioned scheme to collapse. So the question that comes to mind immediately when one knows about that is, number one, how do you build a robust and reliable credit system? And how do we ensure that there is the repayment of credit taken?
Again, it comes back to the structure. The structure means availability of a protective mechanism, availability of secured mechanism, and then availability of awareness creation, education to the people. You need these three typefold. You need it. Now, for protective mechanism, the lenders, not only peculiar to Nigeria, the lenders, whether financial lenders, trade lenders, those who provide goods or products, they need protection, because they know that when you give out money or you part away your goods against future promise, which is usually 30 days in the case of goods or products supplied on credit terms, or financial credit by way of loan, which you have to pay back. Nigeria is on short lending terminism, maybe 3 months or 2 months, 4 months, max 6 months. They know that in the study of credit administration, there are 5 C's of credit, 5 C of credits. One of it is circumstance. You can add slice condition. Circumstances or condition may occur which will negate the very well-intentioned agreement to pay as per that agreement. Something could happen beyond the imagination of the parties involved in that transaction. So there is a provision for that. Should anything happen that way, what is the next option? This is where you have 2 things you can set up. The insurance industry must provide a risk undertaking to say that the loan you have given, let me say, small and medium scale enterprises who do not have collateral or security, then all the way down to informal sector, below informal sector. Insurance industry have the responsibility to sell policies that will be subscribed to on payment of very small premium against risks that will occur, which will negate the payment capability. And when that payment default occur, there is no loss because the lender or the supplier will tender the insurance-backed transaction document, and insurance will reimburse them. So they have their money back. That is on one side. The persons, the takers of credit, be it financial credit or a credit as a result of goods or product parted away against future promise that has been made, you need to have information, which is what this new project government has embarked upon, emphasize on consumer credit project. You need to have of all citizens, and we have multiplicity of personal identification system in this country. We need a unification of this, which using the information technology, digital technology, you can just enter your name or my name and say Chris, and my last name, or both my first name, middle name, the last name, and my date of birth. Anywhere I am in this country, it will bring me out. You will see me. The power of credit economy or credit management is ability to access information on individual and on corporate organizations. And human beings have this natural instinct that when you and I know that my information is easily accessed, you will behave yourself well. So you will not take credit with intent to disappear and nobody can trace you. You change your address without leaving a forwarding address. You change your telephone number. You go to the providers of telephone, you get another new line. It doesn't happen that way in developed economy. You'll be nabbed. And then the legal system, the cash economy that we've been operating has weakened the efficiency of the legal system. Today, cases are reported of judges collecting bribes. Judges, some of them are visited in the night. The debtor who should be made to pay the debt as brought about by the creditor is now the one threatening the creditor not to say to him to pay the debt. That is an abnormal society. So we need to restructure. And as I said in various fora, the political restructuring we are talking about cannot be strong if we don't deal with the economy first. So if we restructure the economy, it becomes much easier to restructure politically. So those are the things that happen. You know, in the case of banks, before now, people felt that when you talk of credit, everybody's mind goes to banking institution. No, that is not correct. We have a huge amount of credit transactions in non-banking sectors, manufacturing, oil and gas, telecommunication, hospitality, engineering, communication, etc., etc. And so we need to strengthen our economy by replacing what we presently have with a brand new system. And then if we do that, the third one of the third point I talked about before is awareness creation. You have to educate Nigerians, the various stakeholders, not only the government, a professional institution like us, the various organized private sectors, the business owners themselves, chambers of commerce, the media. Everybody must be involved in creating that education, that awareness for Nigerians that a new economic regime is now out. And this is what it is coming with. You must, of course, the system will tell you to be honest. If you are not honest, you'll be totally excluded from the scheme of things. And then that will amount to self-poverty inflicted as a result of your own behavior, your attitude, etc. So that is my thought on that question you asked.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, sir. Well, I think you've mentioned some points that in the last 2-3 years has been something that has been mentioned again and again, that technology should be involved in some of these things. We can't really track people without including technology in the way things should be. But the question will now be: we live in a country where, at the moment, we really don't have that total coverage. Our tech space doesn't have that coverage yet to be able to capture everyone. In the way that if you default in payment, there's a way that can happen that you may find an escape route out of the system in a way. So the question I want to ask is this: in the budget for 2024, the federal government earmarked an 100 billion naira customer credit fund to stimulate the economic growth and enhance the welfare of the populace. And the question is, how do you think that the government can ensure that the right people get the support they need? How do you think the government can ensure that the right people, the business people, the medium-sized business people, other persons can get the support they need? And how effective would that be?
Well, the right people, the government is fully aware that they are the essence of government, the business of government is to reach out to every citizen. And so everybody is right. There's no one who is right and the other one is not right. Everybody is right. And the system the government is introducing, consumer credit system, affects everybody, no exception, whether poor or rich. At different level, you will have your own package. There's no way, for example, if I have a credit card of about 20 million credit limit on a monthly basis, your own might be maybe 500,000. The revenue are not the same. But then you are affected by the consumer credit initiative of the government. Are also affected. About the technology, don't forget that the government was able to put relevant ministries together for this. Minister for Digital Economy and Communication. And you need to hear that young man. He has so much he's thinking about for technology-driven governance system, economic system for the country. And then the Minister for Finance, the same thing. The Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment, very brilliant and articulate people, the same thing. These are young people that are coming up with modern ideas for a prosperous economy and very simple but efficient governance system. And so it's a good thing. Whether things will work or not, if you ask me, I will say things should work given the right team that has been assembled together by the leadership of the present government. I'm not speaking for them. I'm a private person, very professional person, but I cannot resist saying what I saw. And so I know that Nigerians has been living with hardship, has been living with neglect of government, has been living on their own without help coming, has been living in pains, in abject poverty, in difficulty to actualize their dreams, no backup, nothing. That, of course, clearly shows that the old economic regime has expired, which is cash economic regime. And so let's join other progressive nations and introduce what is working for them. And so the right people will be reached, because the system is going to involve creation of associations, societies, cooperative societies, thrift societies, credit unions, what we call Ishushu, farmers association at different level, association of different sellers of whatever product and services at different locations. All of that it's not going to be a free living without accountability. When we do the census, we're trying to get accurate figure. Where do you go? The census is not for people in urban cities. You have to go to the hamlet and villages. So they have associations there. Age group meetings goes on there. They have their leadership. They have clans meeting, clan by clan. This is how the African society is structured, and Nigeria in particular. And so if anybody is saying, how do we reach out to the right people? It is pretty much easier to reach out to them. But while the one side of the economy is, this aspect of the economy is package is being put together, there is also other units of government engagements going on, such as the electricity supplies. We need it in order for people to be able to increase their productivity, sell what they are doing, make money, to be able to honor credit obligations. And then we need good road for people to move their goods and services across the country. We need security so that nobody molests any vehicle coming in, putting gun on anyone's head. So it's all embracing, and I'm not an expert in other fields, but I do know that for a prosperous economic package, government is fully aware that you can't tune up one direction properly and the other ends are loosed out here and there. It doesn't make sense. And then you look at the transportation system, either by road or by air. There must be safety by by sea. There must be safety. I know that is a consequence of being a big country. But then by the time the foundation is properly laid, as we see in developed countries, government will only be busy collecting revenues, because it will be technology-driven. Revenues will be coming. Whatever you buy, a fraction of it goes to the government. That is what it is in developed countries. There is no free lunch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Chris. I think you've mentioned something very powerful there when you said that this is not a standalone strategy. You need other things to make this work, so that people don't give you excuses as to why they are not able to pay back their credit commitment. Thank you so much, Professor Chris, for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, sir.
Now let's do the numbers. The Nigerian stock market closed yesterday, the 11th of March 2024, with a favorable breadth and had a gain of 713.99 points. The NGX All Share Index closed at 102,044.84 basis points, advancing by 0.70% compared to the previous day's gain. The NGX market capitalization also recorded a gain of about 403.69 billion naira. The total volume traded closed at 436.90 million. The value was at 17.10 billion, and the total trade was around 11,344 deals. Guarantee Trust Holding Company was the most traded stock by volume, and Transpower was traded stock by value. At the end of the trading yesterday, there were 34 gainers, 16 losers, and 56 unchanged. Topping the gainers list yesterday was Onalo, with Prestige topping the losers list. Now to the foreign exchange market. On the NAFEX market, there was a depreciation by 0.29% as $1 exchanged for 1,615.85 naira. But on the Bureau chain market, there was an appreciation by 0.19% as $1 exchanged for 1,615 naira. Thank you for joining me today on the numbers. On today's economic fun fact, know that no society that desires economic growth sidelines women. In the spirit of International Women's Day, I have selected 4 women who are adding value to this economy and making things happen. See this.
Lois Alter. Lois is a polio survivor and Nigeria's first disabled legislative candidate. Despite suffering from polio at age 2, which permanently put her in a wheelchair, Alter has defied every barrier she's faced as a woman living with a disability in Nigeria. Lois is a Nigerian activist who works to improve the lives of people with disabilities, particularly women. She is the founder and CEO of Cedar Seed Foundation. This organization promotes the inclusion of women with disabilities in human rights and development initiatives in Nigeria. She advocates for legislation that ensures people with disabilities have equal opportunities. Lois founded the Network of Women with Disabilities in 2019. This is a network that empowers women and girls with disabilities through education, advocacy, and rights promotion. Through our NGO, more people with disabilities have been able to gain employment and have a steady source of income, thereby improving their financial well-being and standard of living, and then contributing to increased tax revenue for the government. Mo Abadu. Mo Abadu is the founder of Ebony Live TV, the first Pan-African global black entertainment network. Abadu is a media mogul who has proven and broken barriers in the entertainment industry. Accompanying Ebony Live TV employs a significant number of people in various roles, including actors, directors, producers, writers, technicians, and administrative staff. This contributes to job growth in the creative sector of Nigeria. Ebony Live TV's success has spurred a growth in Nigerian content production. They have shown that high-quality Nigerian shows can be commercially viable, attracting investment and creating opportunities for other production companies. These create a ripple effect, generating more jobs and boosting the entertainment industry as a whole. By producing popular shows, Ebony Live TV attracts advertisers, generating revenue that can be reinvested in production and talent discovery and development, further contributing to the economic cycle. Ndidi Umuleli. She is the founder of Ace Foods, a company producing nutritious and affordable processed yam flours. Ndidi tackles food security issues while empowering rural women farmers. ACE has contributed to increased food security and dietary diversity by creating nutritious and affordable processed yam flours. ACE works closely with rural women farmers, sourcing their yams and providing them with training and fair prices. This empowers these women economically, allowing them to earn a stable income and potentially reinvest in their farms or businesses. Job creation. ACE operations have created jobs in processing, distribution, and potentially farming through their work with women farmers. Ibukun Awoshika. Ibukun Awoshika is a prominent Nigerian businesswoman who has made a significant economic impact through her leadership at First Bank of Nigeria, which is one of the country's largest banks. While Awoshika herself isn't the founder or owner of the bank, her role as the former chairman of the board of directors from 2016 to 2020 allowed her to significantly influence the bank's direction and strategy. FBN, under Awoshika's leadership, prioritized financial inclusion initiatives. This means making banking services more accessible to a wider range of Nigerians, particularly those in the underserved communities. By offering mobile banking, microloans, and other services, First Bank of Nigeria can help stimulate economic activities and empower individuals. Under her leadership, First Bank of Nigeria played a crucial role in providing loans and financial products to businesses. Her guidance has helped create jobs, drive innovation, and contribute to economic growth. Awoshika is a respected voice on corporate governance and sustainability in Nigeria. These are just some amongst many women contributing their giftings in a way that has impacted and still impacting the Nigerian economy. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you for joining me today on Economic Funfact.
Thank you for joining me today on today's episode. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter for more content like this. My name is Oluwa Pelumi Awe. Thank you for joining me today. Bye for now.